It's a culture where you're not micromanaged. There's no micromanaged, but there's expectations. And one thing is really defining expectations, having clarity in your role, accountability, knowing what metrics you need to do to succeed in the position, and everything else will kind of fall into place. But we have a culture here where we have that entrepreneurial mindset, but also we work hard to play hard. So we do, we have a lot of team events where maybe we'll do team lunches. We'll go out and have a team lunch, or we'll bring a lunch into the office. We'll do weekly staff meeting or monthly staff meetings where the whole company comes in and really talks about kind of what's happening in the division. It's not all business, but it's like, yeah, well, what's new? What's fun? What's exciting? What did you learn? Things that everyone can take something from. Culture is too, Ryan, is like finding things that everyone loves to enjoy. Like right now we're participating in a really fun nonprofit that we have. It's a client of ours that we have passion about, that we're doing a clothing drive for, and everyone is just kind of on board participating. And so we do a lot of community involvement, and I think that's part of culture as well. It's been part of just kind of our, what can I say, just as far as things that represent what we're about. We love to be part of the community, assist other, maybe just kind of the less fortunate, assist others that maybe need some help. But then we'll coordinate on company Christmas parties, or we've gone just on a lot of like company trips to San Diego and Las Vegas and Jackson Hole. I mean, things like that, which is part of the culture.
Yep. 100%.
So I would say, I think it's too, and it's the people. It's the type of people that you hire, that you bring in, that really kind of define and create that culture too. So kind of nice. I mean, a lot of companies too are creating culture committees. We actually have a culture committee here that really does a lot of things outside the box to really keep employees engaged and fun, and they participate in team events.
I love that, because it's an important topic enough to have somebody like literally focused on that one thing. That's how important it is to continue the job experience and the culture within your business, because that's what keeps the best people long term. And again, like we were saying earlier, it's like, the marketplace deserves a good opportunity, right? This is a third of their life. Let's do the best that we can to provide a good job experience. Some really killer things stuck out to me. So you mentioned something about being entrepreneurial, right? That's kind of maybe like, we're looking for somebody that's self-motivated, right? We don't want to have to micromanage you every step of your day to do your job. We want you to be able to show up, be excited, and execute at your job. And that's kind of what you guys care about from a culture perspective, not micromanaging people, which is really relevant to like commission-based sales opportunities, which is cool. And you mentioned a couple of things that are similar to our marketplace as well. When you hire people, you set really clear expectations, right? That's kind of where the management job, from my perspective, begins, is clarity around expectations. I can't wait to bring you on board to start on Monday. One of the things I want to do before we get going is I just want to recap on kind of the bare minimum expectations that we have to align with even being a part of this team, so we can be on the same page before we move forward. And pretty much what you're saying, John or whoever, is you're saying, hey, I'm 100% in, I'm down for, these expectations, and I'm okay for you to hold me accountable. And because you were clear on expectations at the beginning and they agreed to be held accountable to these things, once they show up for a meeting late, or they don't execute on one of the values with one of your clients or whatever it is, you have a reason as a leader to have a conversation around it, which is not micromanaging, because it was just simply the expectations that you set at the beginning. Such an important note that Frankie dropped around that for starting off your management job correctly. And when you're managing commission-based salespeople too, a lot of time from a leadership perspective, there's this conflict that can happen, because you maybe like feel bad for holding them accountable to them, but you don't need to go through that kind of weird confrontation process internally if you just set expectations right from the beginning. So that's a big value bomb for right there. So I appreciate that. In terms of culture, a lot of cool things here that stuck out. And as a side note too, when Frankie's going through these things, they're I think a 31, 32-year-old business. They're a top recruiting firm. They've been building their organization, their brand, their team for 3+ decades. It's a really amazing established organization. And so when you hear some of these things like maybe Christmas parties or team events and these kind of things, a lot of the times for a smaller business, you can just go, well, I can't do those things and therefore I can't build my team. That's not the case, right? They started, probably with one person, and they've built to the organization that they are today. And as they've built up their organization, there's more revenue. Then they continue to invest into all those things that actually provide a better job experience. And so you want to start, where you can, and just think about long-term, how can I continue to make this opportunity better? But he mentioned things like like, team events, team lunches, a monthly team meeting. We do that here as well. Everybody's remote, so we do it online. We just talk about like the good of the month, any updates, what's really exciting about the future, pitching vision. It gets everybody together and it reminds them why they like working here. You know what I mean? It gets everybody on the same page. You guys should do that with your company, all of your team members, whether it's face-to-face or, remote. I think he said something about doing monthly team lunches. That may be the team meeting thing as well. But, it's something small, right? It's not a crazy cash investment, but it is really meaningful to the community within the team. We do that here with our, we have Utah staff, like our recruiting leadership staff is here, and everybody else is like in other parts of the country. But we meet every month on like the first or second Friday for a team lunch, and it's awesome. We hang out for 60, 90 minutes. It means a lot to the team.